that was like a Jim Morrison imitation. It just did not, it didn't work out for me at all. I have to be on fire. Welcome to ShmooCon. This is how good my Photoshop is. I was able to do that. If you look at your program, you'll see the original art. Anyway, I'm Bruce, this is Heidi. We are the, I guess, people at the front of ShmooCon, but there's a lot of other volunteers we'll get to in a bit. But normally, wow, I'm getting like feedback too, man. This is trippy. Like we better, dude? He's kind of looking at me funny. All right, we're good. Hey, are we streaming, streamers? Yay, 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up, we're hot. First of all, our advanced persistent threat at the conference today is the bubbles. They are very persistent. I don't think I had realized how persistent they would be. So a couple issues. One, I don't think these lights are going to get along with big wet bubble things hitting them, so we're just going to say no to the presentation rooms. And in general, I don't know how toxic they are. They were really cheap. It said like made in DPRK. I really don't know. So, you know, if you please use some discretion with the bubbles. The hotel, like blowing them in the restaurant, that's probably not going to fly. I mean, they will fly, but it won't. Sometimes I'm funny. So this is the kickoff. It's a little bit of a logistical thing and a little bit of a soapbox for myself, and then a little bit of time for Heidi to, she won't say anything. Who's been to ShmooCon before? Well, it's about a little over half. That's pretty good. We got a lot of new folks. Some of you we kick out, but they keep showing up, right, Branson? Sorry, you were late to my talk, man. I don't know what to say. So first, for those that don't know, we've had basically the same talk format from ShmooCon 1, maybe 2. We rearranged it a little bit. 3 tracks. So Friday today, we do like a plenary, short talk, 20 minutes, ask some questions, hook them off stage, do the next one. Tomorrow we break apart into 3 tracks. We're going to have, this is not right, is it?
Oh, well, I'm not going to reach down there.
She says she's not going to reach down there.
My parents are here.
That's the wrong side of the card.
Oh, jeez.
So, okay, 1 track mine, and or Bring It On will be in here. You can all, Carson's rattling off the photos of that. Anyway, and then the biggest thing is Sunday we're gonna I'll point. So Bring It On, belay it, and build it. Just remember that. When you get to that room over there, this, I swear to God, this is a little confusing. You just have to like go all around this football and then pop in. A lot of people walk in this door over here and get confused and be like, it looks just like the other room. It is. Just go 1 more door down and it'll be all the way down. And then build it will be over there. So, and then Sunday, for those of you that remember, we used to do this wacky, like, take a break and we reconstitute the room and it was chaos. We don't need to do that because this can hold all of us. So Sunday we start in 3 tracks and we finish with the plenary and closing remarks in here. Cool? Head nod, cool, all right. A couple other things. For those that haven't been here before, we do this thing called ShmooCon Labs, which is, we don't do training, okay? There's a lot of conferences you can go to. You can pay a couple $1,000s, get smart, you know, do all that kind of stuff. We don't run ShmooCon to make money. We do this for fun. We try to do this for the community. And we couldn't find a way to make the conventional information security training model make sense, right? Because trainers don't want to come in and give 2 days of training for free or basically free because that's valuable to them. It's their course material and whatever. And what we ended up doing is saying, all right, well, what do we need as a con? Well, we need a network, right? So let's do like a totally overblown production of a network. So this isn't just Wi-Fi, like this is Wi-Fi with intrusion monitoring, and there's IPv6, and there's data visualization, and there's all kinds of services offered and whatever. So in 2 days' time, people come in, they kind of newbies get paired up with mentors in different areas for you know, wireless and you know, wired networking and all the other components. And they're able to learn by building an enterprise scale network with real enterprise tools from all the labs vendors to be able to come in and build that network up and make it work in basically 36 hours. It's hot right now? Yeah. Yep, it's hot right now. So here's the network information that I took from last year's slides, and I presume to be correct, but probably isn't. So no, heads up, whatever. It's close. You know, with wireless, what could go wrong? It's close.
ShmooCon Romp, the third one. ShmooCon Romp.
ShmooCon Romp, not double down. So we went a little more Randy. That's good. Anyway, the labs are all the way at the other end of the hall. Feel free to stop by if you're not participating in the labs, ask questions, take a look at what they've got set up. If you are interested in participating in the labs, you can apply next year to attend. Here's the deal. ShmooCon is an exercise in reading comprehension, and this goes for everyone. When you're an attendee and you try to buy tickets, we say on the ticket registration page, the link is going to show up here, right on this page. Just reload it and it'll show up. People will email, where's the link gonna be? You know what, I'm gonna stand up a honeypot server just for you that just owns you as soon as you connect to it. Like, that's it. If you ask that question, I'm gonna pop your box. Vendors. We have vendors. We have lots of sponsors. We'll get into that in a minute. Sponsors get a very formal letter from Heidi that's, here's all the things that we be nice. She's like, don't rip on the sponsors too badly. But be like, you know, we'll ask you, hey, you need to send us your logo, because I've been in a large corporation and I've had people like just snag the logo off the website and put it in some print material and it looks like crap, and then my marketing people get rah, 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 rah. Like, you can't do that, right? Like, that makes us look bad. So we say, we're not gonna go get your logo, you're gonna send it to us. A month and a half later, the vendor will contact us and be like, hey, where the hell's our logo? We want our money back. But no one's ever wanted their money back, but they get pretty grumpy about it. We're like, you never sent it to us. There was an email. There was like 4 things at the top that you had to do, and you've done none of them, right? Shut up. That's nice. And I could get more aggressive, like. So, and even with labs, like the attendance to get into labs, all we ask is you to articulate why you want to participate. It's not that it has to be, you know, anything complicated. You're late. Jesus. Oh, the fancy DJs are showing up late. Like, we just ask you to articulate. Answer a couple questions. Do you have a ticket already? Why do you want to be here? Honestly, I don't really care why. I just want you to spend time thinking about it. Like, going through the thought process of why do I care should be a filter for yourself. Like, if you can't figure out how to write a paragraph about why you care about participating in labs, maybe you shouldn't come, right? It's not hard. When I used to work, I worked at Booz Allen for 4 years. For those, yikes. There was a little bit of goodwill that I built up left. You know, when I got people come to me and want to go to training, and I'll be like, well, write a justification. They're like, what do I have to do? I'm like, just write me something. And people get all bent out of shape. I'm like, if you spend the time to write like 2 paragraphs about why you want to go to training, I'll send you, okay? I don't care if it's not even grammatically correct. Like, just spend the time and the effort. And that's all we ask for most of what we do for the con. And I would encourage you in your job and when you interact with other cons to please just read the directions. Do you have a question? It is supposed to come at the end, but I get, it ebbs and flows. So, you know, try the network out and the veal. Anyway, so you can stand wherever you want. Anyway, so we do limit the number of sponsors that come to the con, just like we limit the number of attendees. And part of that is we want sponsorship at the conference to be mutually beneficial. We don't need the money from the sponsors to run the conference, right? We are, I mean, to be brutally honest, we are in the kind of most advantageous position known to mankind when it comes to running a conference, because we know we're going to sell out, we know how many tickets we're going to get, and we know to the penny how much money we're going to get from attendees in advance. And we know we could run the whole damn con on that. And
they're not going to buy tickets.
And now they're not going to buy tickets. Yeah, right. They'd be like, screw you, buddy. Let's troll them. Yeah, right. The sponsorship's just to do added nicer things, right? And so it allows us the flexibility to say, no, we're going to have a limited number of sponsors. There's going to be 3 platinums, 4 golds, you know, whatever. But we do that because we want the people out there that are sponsoring to have a good experience, but we also want you as attendees to have a good experience from the sponsorship. It should be a mutually beneficial thing. And I don't mean like, who's got the coolest swag? I mean, you should be able to learn something. You should be able to experience something from ShmooCon sponsors. And that's something that we push all our sponsors to. Sometimes they hit it, sometimes they don't. You know, it just depends, but that's our philosophy. And that's something, again, we hope and we would encourage others to try to carry forward in other events. There's a lot of B-Sides folks here, and you guys live on sponsorship, right? Like, that's your whole freaking universe. And you require that same kind of, like, let's make this mutually beneficial. We've seen that work really well, but on the flip side, we'll get big companies coming to us at the 11th hour being like, here's a bunch of money, let me in, and we get to say no. which is weird because a lot of those companies aren't used to being told no, and then they get a little grumpy. And it's actually, to be honest, kind of fun. So, and at the end of the day, like, you can get ranty about like vendors and all this kind of nonsense about vendor shows. This, like, people like get grumpy about like, oh, this thing's turning into a trade show. Like, go to a real trade show sometime. Like a real honest to God, go to CES and look at the companies that are buying like $20,000 booths and they're in a trailer in the back parking lot. That's a trade show, right? Nothing in this industry, modulo RSA, really looks that much like a trade show. I would encourage you not to demonize these people, but try to find, if you have a problem, like, I think the firewall market is a commodity-based pile of shit, I would like to make it better, go talk to the firewall companies and try to make it better. Just an example, I wasn't saying it's true, man. Oh, she's already giving me a warning on time. I'm on slide 3. T-shirt charities. So, here's the deal what we do with t-shirts. We give the t-shirts effectively to HFC and EFF. What you do then is provide a donation to them and you get a t-shirt in exchange. So we don't actually sell t-shirts. We don't want to pay DC sales tax, things like that. It's much easier for it just to be a donation. So what you do is you go into Reg at 4 p.m. 2? Did it already start? Anyone buy a t-shirt already?
It says 4.
Okay, then it's 4 o'clock because it's after 2. So at 4 o'clock, you can go into registration, you give them 15 bucks, they're gonna give you a t-shirt and a token, you put the token in the bucket that you wanna give your money to, and then all that money goes to that charity. So that's how we run t-shirt, it works very well. So please go donate for t-shirts. In the same vein, sometimes we have extra t-shirts. Shocker. First of all, I would like to talk about the t-shirts. I make a lot of the t-shirt designs. Heidi will have an idea. I'll sit there and I'll bash my face against Illustrator and Photoshop for a while, and eventually I'll figure out how to do it. Most of the graphic arts for ShmooCon, I do. Most, not all, but like the cover art this year, I did last year's cover art. Like this, if anybody wants to hire a graphic designer, like, I'm on the market. I start, yeah. Perfect. Oh, it's my son. I was wondering, like, where the hell did that come from? That it went all the way over here.
He was ripping on you, honey.
I was ripping on it. So, I started using Corel doing this, like, in ShmooCon 1. Anyone remember the ShmooCon 1 badges? There were a smiley face that said ShmooCon. That was as sophisticated. Anonymous attendee, sorry. As sophisticated as I could be at the time. I still constantly learn things of the t-shirts, and my favorite t-shirt, for all the wrong reason, is the green one from like 3 years ago with the bar, there's like a bar graph on it. There's like a frequency graph of some kind. I don't remember what the hell it was. Anyone have that one?
On? Does anybody
Does anyone have it with on? Is that it? Does it have like 4 bars on it?
Yes.
Yes. Do you mind bringing that up here? So this is going to be really hard to see for anyone. So let's make it. So there's these 3 or 4 barcodes. ShmooCon 2012, heart rate beats per minute, sleep, walk, run, and ShmooCon ticket sales. Ha ha ha, cute little joke, we made this t-shirt. Well, I was trying to figure out how to make things snap to grid, which is really complicated, and it wasn't snapping to grid the way I wanted. So I made this little space here, which was just another little rectangle that I used to space all these things out, and then I moved it to the bottom of the artboard, and then I forgot it was there. So I went to print, and it comes back, and we got this little rectangle right kind of above your navel that just sits there. We sold 200 of the things. Some guy sold one on eBay the other day. So anyway, please buy the t-shirts. help the starving artist. Because what happens when they don't, we end up with a storage unit full of stuff, euphemistically called crap. Periodically we get together, we take all the crap, you put it into a bag, and you get to buy the crap for 10 bucks. It's really old ShmooCon bag, everything from the ice scrapers that were pre-Snowmageddon to older Shmoo balls, a water bottle. Some of them are really good, some of them are pretty crappy. Some of them are going to be really weird, but you'll be rewarded for it. So you decide where you want your money to go. But they are labeled, like if they're t-shirts, there's sizes, so at least you know you're not getting like a random size associated with the bag of crap. So please help empty our storage unit, buy a bag of crap. I assure you it'll be worth your while. If you get one of those green shirts, you can come find me. We'll exchange it for something, I guess. I don't know. I think that's it. So also, Black Hat's coming up. So not the conference. It was kind of, yeah. Sorry, that joke's already been done to death, I'm sure. Here's what we've done. We bought an entire theater in Georgetown for an 8 o'clock showing tonight. An entire auditorium. What's the difference? A theater would imply all the auditoriums? I'm not up on the lingo of a movie facility. Okay, jeez, I love you. So we bought an entire auditorium at the AMC Theater in Georgetown. You can go to the HFC booth. You can donate $20 to HFC or EFF, and then go see a show with a bunch of hackers at the Georgetown AMC Theater. So if you want, I would, I guess they're taking them now?
Yeah, so they're selling them now. The deal with this is it was originally the 7:30 showing. They pushed it back to 8 o'clock for us. And because I was like, oh, keynote ends at 7:30, not sure if there's going to be enough time, they took out the trailer package. So they're going to start the movie at 8:15. So it starts at 8:15 prompt, even though the ticket says 8 o'clock, I believe. But if you get there between 8 and 8:15, you should be there on time for the...
So for those that don't know, there's a movie called Black Hat, starring, what, Jake Gyllenhaal? Thor, Jesus Christ. Who's that guy from Cheers? What's the actor's name? Norm! No, what's his real name? Norm! What's Thor's real name? Chris Helmsworth? All right, he was the hottest man alive, according to People.
Yes.
See, look at that! Like, I knew who he was. I was just messing with you. All right. Anyway, so 8 o'clock, go see a movie. Other goings on, we used to like roll through all of these, but it got to be too many to mention, so I'm just gonna mention them. There's a lot of contests that are run here. How many people have participated in one of the contests over the years at ShmooCon? Yay, a number of people. So there's lots of good contests that go on here. There's barcode contests, who's got the most creative barcode. I still contend, I think it was Adrian had the laser. Yes, so just...
I don't know, the entries this year are over the top.
The entries this year are over the top, but I honestly didn't understand how the barcode scanner worked. And I consider myself a reasonably smart person. Adrian stood from across the room. So the idea with barcode smart code is who can make the coolest looking barcode that still scans, right? So there's like best dressed and best comedy. I don't know, there's a couple different classes. I can't remember what they are, clearly. So people make cakes and Lego things and whatever. Adrian stands across the room and says, okay, pull the trigger on the scanner. He says, okay, and he just aims something at the scanner. It goes beep, and it comes up as registering his barcode. What dark magic do you have, sir? Like, holy crap. And he explained to me how it worked. I'm like, I don't get it. And like, I had to like go Wikipedia like how barcode scanners worked, which is really freaking embarrassing for me. But it was like a little laser that pulsed back. So as long as the trigger was pulled, it would just act like it was reflecting back the thing, and it pulsed back the code. It was absolutely amazing. So that is my favorite barcode scan of all time.
Did you see those things out in the hall this year?
I did see. I saw Army Train's thing with the unce and the...
Big Shmoo.
Is the large Shmoo, the large white amorphous object is a, so to be clear, many moons ago, there was a cease and desist against the Shmoo Group for using the name Shmoo, because Andy Capp had this amorphous white blob in the comics called Shmoo. Little Abner, it was in Little Abner. And so I guess Cap Enterprises was trying to bring back the new Shmoo, and it was going to be like a cartoon. And so Shmoo, the Shmoo Group, which then begat ShmooCon, was named after, in a roundabout way, the gentleman back there who we call Shmoo. If you want to, he doesn't want to raise his hand. No, he absolutely. It's okay. He's waving at me. That's actually the guy named Shmoo. And so our lawyer went toe-to-toe with Cap Enterprises on the cease and desist and said, look, it's a guy's nickname, it has nothing to do with it, it's, you know, not confusingly similar. The logo, I swear to God, is a seal face, not designed to look like it, although it looks remarkably like the Shmoo. A bunch of us were from Alaska, and it was a seal, and anyway, and with Oakley's on, and luckily we won that. Well, I should say, they never wrote back, which is the legal equivalent of winning a cease and desist. So. Yeah, and that was 14 years ago, so I think we're in the clear at this point. Anyway, this information, all this information about all these contests and everything else that's going on is in the in your program. I will say we're doing DCSS scanning again. For those that don't know, for those that were alive during the grand DCSS case, because there are people here who weren't born at that time, which is really frightening. Yeah, so DCSS is the DVD decryption thing. So this is DVD John in 2600 getting sued by the MPAA and all that kind of stuff. We have all the documents from EFF associated with that trial. Actually kind of interesting and important historical documents from the perspective of our community. They live in my storage unit. There's 85 boxes of legal documents in my storage unit. For those that understand geometry, that's a non-trivial volume. So we're trying to scan them through some crowdsourcing thing here so that people can get them online and you know, have them archived for future generations and then hopefully get rid of the damn boxes. So Jason Scott's been leading that up, but Jason is ill, so he has a backup here. I'm going to look and see everything okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good. Fire talks are just Saturday, not Friday, and they are going to be next door over there. So, oh, did you something there? No, do I want to repeat? They don't want to hear this again. They're like, okay, that dude just yawned right there. Hi, sir. Hi, hey, what's up? I love calling people out. Oh my God, I gave a talk at Black Hat one year, and this guy got up in the middle of my talk and like started leaving, and I'm like, what, is it boring you? And the guy turns around, it was one of my clients. I was like, shit, sorry, I'll just tear the contract up. Like that's all my fault. All right, so for the Saturday night party, we're going to be here again. So it used to be, back in the day, we would rent a bar somewhere in DC, and there would be this mad rush for everybody to get tickets. And we only had like 8 tickets available, and 10,000 people wanted to go, and complaining and trolling and anger. So we decided, Heidi crying. It was definitely like between ticket sales and the Saturday night party, those are like the 2 worst times in Heidi's life, besides the day she married me. But, see, she does love me. So what we did last year is we just said, bag it, have a party here, all ages, everyone's welcome. We're going to have an open bar for those that are of age. If you're underage, you still get to drink, you just don't get to drink the alcohol. Surprise. But we'll be handing out tickets for mixed drink at the door. You can drink all the wine and beer you want up until midnight, and then you're on your own to pay for it until they run out. Till 1 a.m., I guess, or until the fire alarm goes off. So, don't give them ideas, yeah. If you don't know what that means, talk to the person next to you. I've told enough stories already. So, Shmoo's a student. This is the 2nd year of the Shmoo's a student program. So it's interesting. We started ShmooCon for a variety of reasons, but you know, most of them, if not all of them, were pretty altruistic. The people involved in the Shmoo Group at the time, and there were volunteers in helping us out, feel pretty strongly about trying to demonstrably improve the information security community, right? That's why we're here. We're trying to do the right thing. I mean, that's why we don't have a break-it track anymore. It's not that we think that offensive stuff is bad, it's just that we think there's plenty of other coverage of that elsewhere, so we don't really have a detailed coverage of offensive capability versus other conferences. And you know, so we've had a strong relationship over the years with the service academies like West Point. West Point brings a busload of cadets down every year, and Naval Academy's here this year.
I think they finally got in. Did you guys get in?
Go Army, beat Navy. Yeah, okay, well, there's some Army people around. Yeah, wow. Yeah, and that started. And we realized a couple years ago, while there were a lot of attendees here, like RIT and Penn State and Penn College of Technology and places like that, you just got to pander to your audience. That's all it is. Like, it's, hello, Springfield. Field, yeah. Last week I was at Shelbyville. Ooh. Like the 8 Simpsons fans in the room get that shit. Yeah, future, jeez. You're too young, kid. It's literally a kid. Anyway, we realized we didn't have very good outreach to the student community at large, and so we thought, what can we do? And we came up with this program. We're like, look, we'll have people sponsor students, but we're not going to make them like actually find the student. They're just going to say, I'm going to pay $400 for a ticket. $400 gets me and a student in and gets a student a $100 stipend. Well, then we throw in $100 and they get a $200 stipend. And then students apply, and they say, here's why I want to come. And again, we're not looking, this isn't like, you have to prove to me that you're the most worthy, like your research is the coolest or whatever. You just have to show motivation, right? We don't want just seniors in here who have a clean, articulate point about what they want to do with their life when they graduate. Like, we want freshmen, we want high school students, we want people who are just like, I think this is really cool, I want to learn more about it. Cool, come on in, we'll pay your way, right? So we had 25 people apply this year, 22 accepted.
25 spots.
25 spots.
It's just following directions.
Just follow, again, honestly, the people who didn't make the cut didn't follow directions. Although last year, still my favorite, was the guy who's like, he was in New Zealand, I think, didn't really say that he was a student, said, I really don't have proof I'm a student either, so here's a picture of some chicken. And he's just, it's like an Instagram picture of his dinner. I'm like, what the hell, dude? No! Actually, I lobbied for him, but no one else wanted to. I thought he was just an art student, it's performance art. Sorry to the art students in the room. I know it's really a thing that you do. No, it's not, because I assure you, you have more training in art than we have in security, so it's all cool. But that actually gets to a serious point, right? So I'm a college dropout, but even when I was in college, okay, here's the obligatory. Did anyone attend the University of Alaska Fairbanks?
John.
Did you graduate? Oh, it's Mossman. Like, I just already know that. Did you graduate? No, woohoo! Like, no one ever graduates from that school. There's just a pit in the back with the students who didn't figure out how to run away fast enough. Anyway, so even today, the programs that exist in the undergrad, especially at the undergraduate level, with respect to information security, computer security, things of that nature, are still under really rapid development, right? I go to campuses all the time, and I see professors and the people trying to build the curriculum running as fast as they can, trying to get a handle on this, but you got students who are spending their days on Reddit and slinging their own code and staying up to date, and a lot of times the students are ahead of the curve of the curriculum, of the professors, of the university, and they're doing their own thing, and sometimes their own thing's great, and sometimes it's misguided, but damn if they're not motivated, right? And so it's really tough for me to see, hundreds of people, thousands of kids around the country who are so motivated that they spend their weekends setting up their own hacking competitions, doing outreach with the community, building all these programs and getting equipment to learn and all this kind of stuff, and not get the support from the universities that they expect. And it's not like we can come in and be surrogates for that, but we can provide some external view and extra experience to them. And so that's why, personally, I think it's so important to engage the next generation, because the last thing we want them doing is doing some of the stuff that I did, which was totally self-educated. Sometimes I learned the right thing, but a lot of times I learned the wrong thing, and I didn't realize it until years later. So let's help them prevent, not make the same mistakes that we did. I always get nervous when she runs off on stage. Yeah, you can applaud that, but I trailed off at the end, so it's okay. It didn't have that big thud factor, I would drop the mic, but it's very expensive, and you took all our money, so. Proceedings, this is an interesting one. Last year we tried to do proceedings. So this idea was that we were going to have a printed thing that you could buy or download and then cite, because citing things at HackerCons is hard, right? At best, there's a video on YouTube. And you'd be like, I'm citing this video, blah, 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 screw you, blah, blah, blah. 22:56 into it, the guy says this, right? Literally, that's a citation you have to make for some of these things, because there's not even the PowerPoint available on the internet. So we thought, hey, people speaking, maybe you could write something and we'll publish it. It turns out getting everyone to submit something, editing it, and then publishing it takes a non-trivial amount of work. Sorry, I don't know that we realized that going into it. We knew it would take a lot of work, but
have it under control.
We're committed to, by the end of February, have proceedings for 2014 and 15 published as one thing. You'll be able to download it as an ebook, you'll be able to buy it, you'll be able to cite the work that people will get up on stage or present in the next 3 days. Again, if anybody else is involved in other conferences is interested in doing this, we are happy to tell you about the things that worked and didn't work for us in this process so that maybe you can do it better. But I think the institutional capture of knowledge in this... After we accomplish it, yeah, we'll give you the good things after we do it successfully. But I think capturing institutionally and as a community the knowledge that is transferred at these events is critically important, and we are lousy at it. right? Like absolutely freaking lousy. I mean, people get all busted out of shape about open access of academic papers, but at least there's access, right? There's something there. You can always scam your way into one of these things to get a paper, not that I would encourage that. It's hard to scam your way into some stupid YouTube video that after the first 3 minutes, you're like, whatever, I'm out. YouTube is not an academic thing that you can cite. Anyway, I guess it is, but whatever. Some friendly warnings. Please read all the announcements and warnings in the program. I will say the Hilton has been very nice to us in our time here. They continue to treat us very well. We would appreciate if you all treated the Hilton well. You know, again, please avoid bubbles in here because we don't want the Fresnels like blowing up on your head. But in general, treat the hotel staff politely, treat the facility politely. Please don't hack the kiosks. Please don't put card readers on the ATMs. You know the drill, like normal things. You know, if my mom was here, would I really attack this? No, probably not. Maybe, I guess it depends on what kind of family you had. If you have questions or concerns, come see a staff member. So something that we focused on this year is kind of professionalizing what it means to be staff at a conference like this and start to put together a handbook and some guides to help arm people better. We realize with things like labs, we're doing a great job at arming people to be skilled at running networks and skilled at handling security incidences and things of that nature. But when we say, hey, come help at the con, here's your t-shirt, go. That's not arming people to be successful. That's not arming them to help you, you know, as an attendee or to, you know, make sure that everyone's safe and that kind of thing. So we're starting to get some training together. We're starting to try to get, you know, everyone on the same page with what good communication looks like, how to interact with people, how to keep yourself safe, attendees safe, all that kind of stuff. But you'll note, from the beginning, we've always had all the staff wear the same red shirts. It doesn't matter if they're the camera guys or the streaming or security or whatever, we all wear red shirts. If you have any questions at all, come find a red staff shirt. Yeah, red staff shirt. Sorry, I didn't just mean random dude in a red shirt. Like the guy with the hoodie there, he's like, yeah, I won! Like, I am staff. Like this. Try to find someone in a red staff shirt. If they don't know the answer, I do not wear a red staff shirt, but I am always here to help. I should probably put on the shirt. I'll do it on Monday. Please be awesome to each other in general. Again, you can read more of our philosophy on that in the program. I don't want to get into it right now. Please wear your badges at all times. That includes Saturday night at the party, at fire talks, whatever. You know, we don't track who you are. We don't care. It annoys people like the press and our sponsor, like, who attends? Like, I don't know, carbon-based forms of life that had a credit card, like, or their friends. So the only way we have to know that you're supposed to be here is your badge. If we see you walking the halls and you don't have a badge, we're gonna ask you to produce your badge. If you can't, we're gonna escort you out until you can find said badge. So also, aren't these awesome badges? I froze my ass off making these things. And my son too. Yeah, we did it in a. You got a lot more applause than I did. We burned them on a laser cutter in our garage over the last 2 weeks, and it's unheated except for the kerosene heater and the propane heaters that I had burning. Probably had enough oxygen, but I'm not really sure. So. Anyway, he knows he didn't. Anyway, they will kind of clean up too if you rub your finger on them, like a little spit and whatever. I didn't want to spit on everyone's, and I guess it was the only solvent I had. So you know, yours may need a little cleaning too. Everyone's cleaning their badge, so I'm going to say all the other stuff. Anyway, please wear your badge. Be nice to each other. Be nice to the hotel. If you have questions, if you have concerns, you're feeling uncomfortable, whatever, find a staff member. We'll help you deal with the situation. Capiche? Capiche. Yeah, that's my. I don't know, is that a real word? Okay, good. My dad would say it to me. I thought he was making it up. So it's not English, and that was the only language he knew. So some other announcements. Finding route at 40,000 feet has been canceled and been replaced with crypto before computers. I'm just the messenger on this one. It's not like I beat him up, man. Oh! So if you see a 12-year-old walking north later, he's just going home. Like, that's all it is. Everything's cool. speaking of the schedule, the date's wrong in the program printed for Friday. Don't get confused by that. It's like, I'll show up on the 34th of January, or whatever the hell it says. Wireless CTF is now in the Buffett room for Friday and Saturday, and Sunday, I guess we're putting them outdoors?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So.
They'll probably be in the chill-out room if they need to be.
Okay. Video and picture policy. So let's see. There's a lot of video-related things here. Google Glass. That was from last year. I left it there. I don't really know. First of all, Ted's here again, and he is. Yay, Ted! Yahoo! Ted is the man who wrangles all of the video. He archives it, he has it for sale, and he also feeds us video so that we can stream it for free on the inner tubes. This year it's streaming on live stream. Hi, all the people watching on live stream. How many people do we have? 300, holy shit. That's pretty good. You can't watch it from here, so don't try. Oh yeah, don't stream, no, and my son's like streaming it over the cellular. He's like literally watching me on a 90-second delay on a cell phone, costing me money when I'm right freaking here! I'll say it again!
Now we're going to have a talk about hotel wireless.
It's a family event. Family drama. Oh, he's got his phone. Well, that ended. I don't know. Okay, where's his settings? It's an iPhone. You just think about it, it just works. We will.
He's on ShmooCon open.
Oh, well, go, yeah, anyway. We will make this available for download later for free as well off of archive.org. Internet Archive hosts all our stuff, so thank you to the Internet Archive. And I'm going to say this now, and people aren't going to like me, and I don't give a shit. I care that you like me. So we have felt for a long time that we are the stewards of the things that happened here, and we want the right thing to happen. And we're not trying to make money off of it, and we don't want other people to make money off of it either. So we've never uploaded a single video from ShmooCon to YouTube. Anything that's on YouTube or Google or any of these other freaking websites, I guess that's all the same, right? None of that is stuff that we've done. Other people have done it, that's fine. We release this to the community, but our feeling is this is your information, this is your privacy, your freedom. People shouldn't track you when you watch these things. Internet Archive doesn't track you. We don't track you when you download it off of our website. I'm lucky if I can find the log files most days. Usually VAR's full, so it doesn't even matter. But we're going to continue to do that, right? Other places don't. It's fine. You can do it. It's totally cool. But I would encourage you, again, if you have a means to distribute content from this community in a way that doesn't make you prey to other people's policies, to feeding, providing, you are the content, you are the whatever for Facebook and for Google and all that other stuff, do it, right? Even if it's harder, do it yourself. Don't let them do it. So, anyway, there's my rant. What's that? I'll get to, what? Okay. Oh, good. Yes, okay. It's good news. We don't have to cancel the conference. So, also in the realm of old school, we have a picture policy. And yes, woohoo, the old school people whoop, and the new people are like, really, what's that? I just snap selfies all the time. The full policy is in the program, but in a nutshell, if you take a picture here, everybody in frame, even if it's the back of their damn head, better agree to you taking their picture, right? And if we see you taking pictures, we're going to ask you, like, this is my wife and I, my eyes are open.
Oh, it's bad.
It is bad.
Show it on Facebook.
There we go. Take a picture of yourself, take a picture of your friends across a flat backdrop, whatever. Don't stand on stage and take a picture of everybody. Don't stand in the hallway and take a picture of everybody in the hallway, okay? If we see you doing it, we're gonna ask you to stop. If you keep doing it, we're gonna ask you to leave. It's not something we like doing, but it's something that we take seriously. Again, there aren't many conferences out there left doing this, right? We still do it, so please. What? I'm doing what next?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm doing this next. Okay, so I want to mention a few key staff so you know who to go poke if you have questions or concerns. And again, questions here can be like, can you tell me more about how you do this? Because I'm interested. Like, we'll take good feedback, bad feedback, and also like, hey, I want to learn. That's why a lot of us are here. So this is Heidi. She runs ShmooCon. She's a leader of the pack. She's kind of the person of last resort. If you have questions, try to field them somewhere else before you get to her. Ken, not here. Not here. Branson's is surrogate for now, I guess. They're down in labs. If you have questions about the network, you can go down to labs. Look for anyone with a labs badge, which is not a woodcut badge, but it's actually like looks like a concert badge. It's white with a blue border. You can ask them questions. GM1 and Redbeard are either in here. Negative. They're security leads. What? GM left. All right, he's smoking. Bob is right here. He's the guy. Speakers, pay particular attention to this man because he's the guy that handles kind of the stuff that happens up here. He interfaces with the PSAV, make sure that the projectors are working. You've got what you need when you get up on stage, right? Okay, good. Matt for registration. He's our new Tamsin. Tamsin couldn't make it this year. For those that know Tamsin, she unfortunately. Oh, we're sad to not have. Well, anyway, I got nothing to say. Oliver is back there. He's leading up streaming video, so if you have questions about streaming video, he'll help you out. Andrea, yeah, Andrea's working taping, and I'm a free agent. Like, I don't wear the red shirt, but if you need anything and you can't find someone, you can tackle me. I do all kinds of random things. Yeah, except for you. You, according to the restraining order, have to stay farther away than you are now. So, God damn. A couple of things. Whoops, I skipped this slide. There's a small contingent of people from Alaska here that I wanted to call out. The first are Heidi's mom and dad who have retired from Alaska and have moved into our backyard in Maryland. So they are here. They are attending. Yeah, please be nice to them. We would like to see them back at home later. So if you find out you're somewhere in like Southeast DC tonight at a party and you see them, maybe it's just help get them home safely. That's all we ask. The other person, the man from Alaska, to be frank, if it wasn't for this guy, I don't think Heidi and I would be where we are today. The Shmoo Group wouldn't exist. This man, so his name's Lance Ahern. Lance, if you want to stand up for a second, you don't have to say standing, but that's Lance. So when I was up in Fairbanks and I was going to school with Heidi and Shmoo was killing my cats in our apartment, not intentionally, it was just really cold and maybe it was a dog, I don't know, he didn't like the animals. But it was, Lance ran the largest ISP in Alaska, Internet Alaska, and he kind of had a band of misfits toys that he hired, and it was Heidi and myself and Shmoo and some other folks, and somehow he placed trust in us to run the largest ISP in the state. And the median age must have been like 22 years old. It was just a bunch of freaking hooligans, and he put a lot of faith and trust in us and let us do what we thought was the right thing, which sometimes was the right thing, sometimes it wasn't. Sorry. But he allowed us to grow as professionals in this space. And they started another company called Fort Knox, N-O-C-S, not K-N-O-X. That's literally, I think, how you had to answer the phone so people understood what you were saying. We tried to do public key-based credit card processing using SET back in 1998 and 1999. Think of how cool it would be if we had succeeded and not burned through millions of dollars of venture capital, left it in a smoldering pile in the parking lot. But that said, again, like he brought the band of misfit toys along and we all went and built this network for him and built the software and tried like hell to make this happen. And during that time, usually when we weren't getting paid because we'd ran out of cash is when we started the Shmoo Group. But again, we had learned because Lance gave us enough rope to harm ourselves with, but also to be successful. And that means the world to myself and Heidi and everyone else. So we wanted to thank you, Lance, for giving us the opportunity. And again, I would encourage you, my personal reflection is, again, I went to school for 4 years, dropped out of college, did a lot of stupid shit, but somehow managed to run a company. We run this conference, got a family, kids all seem healthy, they have all their limbs still, even after you're like, go use the laser, no instruction needed. you know, having that flexibility was very, I think, important in this field. I mean, we all talk about how important creativity is to the hacker community and things like that. And I would like to encourage you as you leave here to think about that. How do you enable other people to maybe not make the best of decisions, but at least prevent them from harming themselves too gravely and allowing them to learn and move forward, right? I think that's a critically important thing that we forget. We kind of helicopter parent our way through InfoSec sometimes, and we get all serious about like, oh, you can't do that, that's bad. Well, maybe bad things have to happen once in a while, or maybe you just let them learn from experience, and the next time the CIO says, holy shit, that hurt. Like, we really do need this firewall thing that you speak of, or whatever it is. Firewall, yeah, jeez. So, somebody's wearing the bottom of my firewall shirt today, by the way. I was really thrilled to see that. The Shmoo Ball, and this is going to be my closing thing for the most part. We have Shmoo Balls again this year, and for those that don't know, you open up your bag and you see a little squishy foam rubber toy, and you think, oh, that's cute. The point of the Shmoo Ball is not just to be... All right, she's over there. There's nothing breakable here, so I'm just going to stand about in this area. No, dude, because it'll get embedded like right in my nose. When we started ShmooCon, our original tenant, one of the big drivers, frankly, is Beetle, who was in the group at the time. Myself and a few other folks were at Black Hat, and there was some dude on stage saying something that was just patently false. Like, they were on stage, 1 and 1 is 4, and everybody's writing it down, the press is reporting on it, everyone thinks this is the coolest thing in the world. They're like, why is no one saying bullshit to this guy? And Beetle and I had a bit of a rep at the time for being the assholes in the audience, being like, oh, you're wrong, and there's just limits to how much of a jerk you want to be. So, shockingly, for those that know me, I do have limits about how big of a jerk I want to be. And so we thought, well, we should run a conference, and we should hold the speakers accountable, and we should get the audience more engaged. Well, how do you do that? You know, oh, we could put up microphones and have people queue and ask questions. Whatever, like nobody wants to do that. Because normally, first of all, a lot of people don't want to be that person that stands up and stands up in front of everyone and says, I disagree. Because that's a big deal, because now the spotlight's on you. And some people really want to be that person, and no one else wants to hear that person, right? Like, let me tell you about my Aunt Kim. She had her identity stolen through an SSL attack. You're like, oh, Jesus, God. What? This is a talk on, it was on lockpicking. Like, what happened? And so what we came up with ultimately was this thing. So what this is a physical manifestation of the bullshit flag, right? If you disagree with the speaker, oh, by the way, speakers, pay attention, because sometimes they get caught off guard by this. If you disagree with a speaker, throw the ball at them. Okay? Let them know your disagreement. You can do it like all 7th grade style, like, whoa, I don't know, who's that guy, right? Wasn't me. Like, and what typically happens is one person throws it, you'll see like 20 or 30 more come up, right? Because a lot of times people are thinking, I don't agree with that. Do you not agree with me? Because this is a tough one here, Quadling. Can I define throw? Yes, so this is very important. So first of all, when we purchased these, we went through a little bit of an engineering exercise where we said, hey, person who sells tchotchke stuff with branding on it, can you pick up all the stress balls around you and throw them at the person next to you? They're like, why is that? Like, if I hear them say, ow, I don't want that one. That one's too heavy, has a little too much inertia. So what we came up with were these, and in general, if you politely lob them, they are not going to hurt, like that. So, and I'm right-handed, so that was an amazing thing that just occurred. If, by chance, you have brought a hydraulic ShmooCon firing cannon that shoots a Shmoo ball at over 200 miles an hour, please don't aim it at my chest again, okay? So, seriously, dude, like, that was when we were snowed in for a snowpocalypse, and it was, that thing motored. But seriously, I would encourage you to throw them, but just be polite about it, and recognize, like, usually they have their laptop in, like, liquid, so if you just purposely, like, go right or left, well, that's cool. And if you lose your Shmoo ball through that process, you can, come find me. I'll try to find you another Shmoo ball or something like that. Anyway, so that's the purpose of the Shmoo ball. A few more very quick comments because I think our first speaker is here and we're supposed to start at 3:30. So this year, I think information security really turned the corner. And I had a whole rant about the hacker community being dead and the state of things and all that kind of stuff. And I'm out of time, so I don't get to give my rant. Sorry, this has all been very staid and boring, I know. Yeah, give me a Shmoo ball for that. We've had way more press requests than ever, right? Like, cybersecurity, haha, I used the word. Fuck you. So here's the deal. This domain has changed so much in the last 20 years. It doesn't computer security. It isn't InfoSec anymore, right? It's transcended information security as we know it as a term. It's transcended computer security as we know it as a term. When you say security, people say, oh, you work at ADT? So we can't say that. You know what everyone in the country knows when you use the term what you do? Cybersecurity. Right, thank you. So you can say drink all you want, guys, but this is the reality. This is a multidisciplined domain that we live in now, right? It is an above-the-fold problem that the president talks about, that every magazine and newspaper talk about. Every CIO and CEO and executive on a board of directors talks about this problem. So, sorry, I'm a little fired up. Wow, yeah. So, jeez, about my cyber. There's the new meme for you. But the press, we even had press showing up here today, dead cold at the frickin' registration, being like, I'm here to cover the event. That's not how we do things here, guys. We have a press list. If you're not on it, you don't get in. And the press list is of limited size. There's only a handful that we let in. But we got big boys here now. We got Politico. We got NBC. Okay? These are, yeah, what? Like it's not Jim's blog anymore? Like that's amazing. There's more money in this, which means less information, right? Means less tools at our disposal. A greater gap between the haves and the have-nots. You're inside doing the work and see the data, or you're outside looking in, seeing less and less data with less and less access. Right? That's the reality of the hacker community today. That's the new reality that we have to deal with. That's why we stick to our morals of take the picture with just the people that are supposed to have the picture in it, right? Host the data yourself, secure your own damn servers, do it on your own because you can't trust anybody else. Anyway. All right, with that, we're going to start in, I guess, I don't know, 3 minutes or something, so thanks a bunch. You didn't like it?